Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content channel as of late. This is my CinemaCon video. This is the video that I was wanting to do for a little bit, but other videos and just time just kind of prevented me from doing this video. So here we are now. So I'm gonna do the video. And we're going to recap CinemaCon, some news that came out from CinemaCon. Primarily, we're going to be talking about stuff that is worth discussing. I'm not talking about stuff that we literally did not get to see as the public. I'm not going to talk about descriptions. I know that there wasn't an Avengers trailer. I know that there was other things like a Clayface trailer. Stuff that we did not get to see. I'm not going to talk about that stuff because that there's really nothing to talk about outside of just descriptions. So I'm not really going to talk about that stuff. So I'm going to talk about stuff that either I have not talked about in terms of trailers, because there were some trailers that me and my brother actually watched together versus actually doing a reaction for. I will be talking about that stuff as well as some other bits of news that came out from CinemaCon. Excluding, of course, the Legend of Aang thing, which I did a video on, so if you want to know my thoughts about that, you can check out the video that I did about that entire leak. So let's get into this. So, really only a handful of things that I'm really wanting to talk about. But yeah, let's get into it. So, first bit of news that came out from CinemaCon, first bit of notable news, is that we are getting a fourth Paddington film. Paddington 4 is apparently in the works. I don't know when the release date is, but they are working on it. I'm not as surprised. It's funny, there's literally a bear Teddy right there. I don't know. I'm not surprised, given if you've been reading up on the news, they're looking to expand out the Paddington brand. So that's why we have the musical out, and I guess there's like an animated show or some TV show they're working on as well. So I guess it's not as surprising that they're wanting to move forward with another Paddington film. But if my memory serves, Paddington in Peru, which was the last film, financially didn't do as well. So I don't think there's much financial reason to do it, but in terms of a overall business, I see why they may be wanting to move forward with that. So I like Paddington. He's cute. I've only seen the second film and the third film. Never saw the first one, weirdly enough. But yeah, I like Paddington. It's a cute franchise. But I just think that there's no real financial reason to do another one. So we'll see what happens there with more news in the future. Next bit of news. This is just more because it just seems like we're just the whole reboot conversation again, just doing stuff that people aren't really asking for. We're apparently getting a reboot to Escape from New York. I've never seen this movie, so I can't comment on the quality of said film. I've heard good things about it, but was anyone really asking for a reboot of this? Really? Was anyone really asking for it? I don't think so. I know people talk about Escape from New York kind of vaguely, at least in the conversation of 80s films and I believe it's John Carpenter, right, who directed it. They talk about it in very specific, conversations, not in any bigger conversations to be had, greatest of all time, whatever like that. If you feel that way, that's your opinion. But I don't know. It's not a movie that a lot of people my age talk about either. So I don't know. There just seems a little bit of just grasping at straws, with a lot of these reboots, it seems, nowadays. So I don't know. It doesn't really feel much for me. It doesn't really do much for me. But I haven't seen the original, so maybe it'll mean something when I see the original for myself. So, okay. First trailer that I actually want to discuss because I did not get. I watched this with my brother, so I didn't get a chance to react to it. Is the Insidious trailer. Insidious Out of the Further. I believe that's what it's called. Very weird title. So yeah, this is the latest Insidious movie. I believe it's coming out this year. And it's basically doing The Shining. I mean, that's what it seems like to me anyway. Looks like they're just kind of borrowing a lot of The Shining in terms of just its building a premise and stuff like that. So it just seems like it's borrowing a lot from other horror, not necessarily creating its own identity. And the irony of all this is that even though I don't think it looks particularly quality-wise much of anything, I think it's probably going to do fine financially. These movies are very cheap, so I don't expect this to do bad, so I think it's coming out in August, right? So I think the time window is fine for it as well. I just don't think it really does anything for me. I mean, horror and I are very specific anyway. I don't seek out horror in the theater because I'm a bit of a pussy. But I am able to, gauge whether or not something is well made or something like that. In the case of Insidious, in this trailer at least, I'm just like, not really for me. Not really doing much for me. It just reminds me a lot of The Shining. It doesn't really seem like it's doing a lot of its own thing. All right. Now I want to talk about Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, they had their panel, and it was kind of just par for the course. There wasn't really a whole lot of juicy bits. Like I said, there was a Clayface trailer, which we did not get. I actually thought that we would get that, but we did not get it. And things about Supergirl, things about Dune. I think they showed some footage for Dune. But the one thing that I want to talk about that I thought was particularly interesting was that they announced a new division in their company. And that division is being called Clockwork, which is in reference to Stanley Kubrick's film Clockwork Orange. And what it suggests to me is that they are creating a section now in their company which is dedicated to auteur-based or indie-scale projects. And the indication to that is that their first project under this division is a film called TMO, which is being helmed by Sean Baker. Now, Sean Baker may be familiar to some people. He's done movies such as Honora most recently, did a Red Rocket, and I believe he did the Florida Project. I could be wrong. And this movie is expected to come out next year. So, I feel there's two feelings I have about this. On one level, I think that it's nice that that smaller scale projects are going to get their chance to gain distribution and further further their entry into a major studio like Warner Brothers and stuff like that. That's neat, I guess. But on one hand, this is kind of my cynical side coming in. On the other side, I can see this also as being an escape code for when these movies don't necessarily perform well, because let's just face it, a lot of these films that likely will fall into this camp probably won't end up making their money back. That's just, I hope not, obviously, but that just seems like where things will probably end up with a lot of these movies. And when those movies do not do well, WB may just put the blame on the specific division, not necessarily as an entire company, even though it falls to them, making those decisions. So that's just kind of my cynical side coming in, but it's nice. It's nice that that smaller scale projects are going to get some recognition, or some backing from WB or some major studio wise, So I guess that's nice. Maybe I'm also looking at it wrong. Maybe you guys can let me know. Maybe there's something I'm missing about this whole Clockwork thing. But that's what it kind of looks like to me, is that they're looking to have a section for smaller scale things, but at the same time, I feel like it's also their way of just passing the blame if these things don't financially do well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with TMO. Is it supposed to be TMO or is it TMO? I think it's TMO. I think it's supposed to say. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next year with this project. So. All right, next trailer that I want to talk about that I did not get a chance to react to was the Street Fighter trailer. I don't think I have talked about Street Fighter on this channel. I don't think I have. I don't think I saw or reacted to the first trailer because that was during the Game Awards, yeah. So that was when I was watching it with my brother. So I didn't get a chance to talk about it then. My thing about this is I would equate it to saying if Tarantino had directed this movie, basically, like, you know, that's kind of the sensibility that I'm getting from this. And if they just fully went for the sort of strategical approach and finding less room for sincerity, you know, it's kind of the vibe I'm getting of this movie, where there's a difference between not taking itself seriously and then not being serious at all. You know, I think that in the case of this, it just seems like they're going to be doing a lot of obnoxious things that may in fact relate to the game, but it just comes across as really campy and really corny, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of room for a lot of genuine feelings. You know, that's my feeling on it. I mean, obviously, it could be drastically different. Maybe I go into the movie and it might be good, and I'm probably gonna end up seeing it because my brother wants to. Again, part of my cynicism. Again, if I were to see it, also, I'd be interested to see if this is a potential train wreck. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm not saying it looks terrible, but I mean, it flirts the same ways that I feel Minecraft was for me, where it's being obnoxious for the sake of being obnoxious and not necessarily having a sound logic behind it. So again, it could be completely wrong, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. I can also see it in the same way as Minecraft, going off and making a ton of money. You know, I can see that happening with this, if a trend is in fact spawned from it. But you know, I could also see it not doing as well either. But we'll see. We'll see what happens on that front. But at least for me anyway, I am very concerned about the quality of this movie. But that remains to be seen. And keeping it with Paramount, let's talk about the one announcement that was made. I mean, there was a few little snippets here and there. They talked about developments on some other films they're doing, like Transformers and Ninja Turtles. They're still working on Mutant Mayhem 2, amongst other things here and there. Sonic 4, I guess they showed some footage for that. I guess you could call it their big announcement, I guess. Their big announcement at this panel, their Paramount panel, was the official announcement of Top Gun 3. I mean, we knew that Top Gun 3 was happening. There was a script being written. Aaron Kruger, I think that's his name. I think that's how you say his name. He's been working on the script now since 2024, I believe. So you know, we know this has been happening. I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, Top Gun Maverick went off and did as well as it did. So you know, it's not shocking at all that they're doing another one. I'm not particularly crazy about Top Gun. The first film I thought was fine, and the second film I felt kind of met at the same quality, met at the same feelings that I had for the original. So I'm not really like stoked about it, you know, but you know, at least it's now official, you know, even though we all knew for a couple years that they were going to do that one. And by how much the movie literally made, it's like, yeah, of course they're going to do that one. So. But yeah, it's official now, and it's probably going to come out, I would guess, probably like 2028 or something like that. Probably, we'll see. But yeah, it is now official. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is something I thought kind of neat, in the vein of just distribution. So we are getting, apparently, I don't know if it's a spin-off or if it's a prequel, I don't know necessarily what it is, but we're getting another movie in the Longlegs universe. You guys remember Longlegs? I believe it came out 2 years ago, yeah, in 2024. It was that horror film with Nicolas Cage playing a serial killer or something like that, or some kind of like demonic type of like. Yeah, I think the character has like relations to Satan. He's like a cultist, has like these like thoughts about satanic stuff. I don't know. I never saw the movie. I actually was kind of curious to see it, but again, me and horror don't really work. It works better here at home, but not in a movie theater. I don't know. That's just my sensitivities, I guess. But I guess we're getting another movie. We're getting another movie in the Longlegs universe, and it's not a sequel, but it may in fact be a spinoff or a prequel. Nicolas Cage is set to reprise his role from the film, so he's back. He's also producing it. But the interesting thing about this is that the film is now going to be distributed by Paramount Pictures. So it's not going to be under Neon, because the original film was under Neon. And that director, Osgood Perkins, who I believe he's directing this. I could be wrong. He's going now with Paramount. So, and it's interesting because Osgood Perkins, or Oz Perkins, I think that's his name. He has had relations with Neon for a while. You know, Longlegs. I believe prior to that he did a movie. I think it was is it The Black Coat's Daughter or Gretel and Hansel. One of those two, I think, was under Neon. Maybe I'm wrong. But he had Longlegs, which did what it did and did really well. But then most recently he had a film called Keeper, which did not do as great. But he also did a movie before that, The Monkey, which I actually am curious to see. I actually would like to see that one. I never got around to seeing it. But that ended up doing well. So he has 2 out of 3, that ended up doing well for the company. So I'm a little surprised. That Neon didn't put up I don't know if they put up much of a fight, for it. Maybe Paramount what probably happened is that Paramount probably offered more money for him to do his production, and he just took the money and ran, probably. That's my guess. Or probably just, took the money and just like, yeah, I'll play with this more. Versus what Neon was probably more willing to offer in terms of a production. I don't know. But it's neat. It's interesting that, that it's now moving forward with another major studio, rather than sticking with Neon, who pretty much at this point has been the last of a notable but still independent type of studio. A24 is now leaping itself into a different sphere, with video game adaptations now and stuff like that, whereas Neon's always been very low tier. But yeah, it's a bit of a loss for them. I'm pretty sure something like this would be very attractive to their catalog. But it is what it is. So yeah, those are all the little bits that I want to talk about from CinemaCon. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff, like some stuff we've already talked about. Like talked about the reaction to the Godzilla trailer, talked about The Legend of Aang, we talked about I did a reaction most recently to the Dog Stars, so there's that as well. Did another reaction, I forgot what that was. Oh, I did the AI the AI conversation with Val Kilmer. We talked about that as well. But there's a lot of stuff that was just shown to audiences, and that's not what we're talking about. I would rather talk about it once we have those trailers. So, but yeah, that is pretty much all of CinemaCon. It was kind of, I wish that some stuff came out. I wish we got a Clayface trailer at least. I didn't have a feeling we wouldn't get the Avengers trailer just because we already had gotten footage a few months back. So, but I would not have been surprised if they released it anyway. I thought they would have, because I guess they were allowed to take photos at the panel. But those are my thoughts on the news from CinemaCon. or at least happening during CinemaCon this week. You guys, what are your thoughts on CinemaCon? If you guys were at CinemaCon, let me know. How was the experience? And all of your thoughts on all these topics, let me know. All of your thoughts relating in the comment section, in the description below, right? Yeah, below, leave a comment, whatever, just however you feel, let me know. So, but yeah, it was a little bit late, and I'm gonna go hang out with my brother now, so. But thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.